Now our last bait is cut fish. This is very popular for a lot of freshwater and saltwater fish. You can catch all kinds of species on cut bait using high-low rigs and Carolina rigs just soaking. This here is a sardine, but I usually also use mackerel, and a mackerel is a saltwater fish that has become very popular as a freshwater bait. I know a lot of guys who are catching very large sturgeon and all kinds of like catfish, and I'm talking huge catfish, and they're using mackerel. Now, the mackerel can be somewhat harder to find at your local fish shop if you're somewhere in the middle of the country, but you can often find it at a fish market very easily if you really wanted to pay the price. But anyone who's near a beach and has a beach tackle shop next to them, most likely you're going to be able to find mackerel fine. A lot of guys down here in California where we live, what they like to do is we'll go actually fishing down the beach, we'll catch a bunch of mackerel, and then we'll head up to the lake in Big Bear for the weekend, and we'll use the mackerel to catch the catfish. So here I'm just using my fillet knife, and I'm drawing it along the edge, just as if I was filleting a piece of steak off of a body, and I'm actually going through the ribs, so the bones of the ribs is all through the meat. Unlike when you fillet a fish, when you normally go over the ribs to try to get as much of the bones out, you want to keep the bones in there because that's going to keep the bait intact when it's in the water. And we're going to do this just like the octopus. You're going to go in through one end, flip the barb of the hooks back around, and all the way through. Now here I'm actually hitting a little bit of the spine so the hook couldn't go through. Don't try to force it because you'll just blunt the end of your hook. Go a little bit down, turn it back around, and right there again. And there we go. It looks just like when we did the octopus. It really is kind of universal. The only thing that changes is how you cut up the fish and bait that you're using. Now the larger one to the left is a circle hook, and when I use the whole head like that, I'm usually going for larger fish like a large catfish, or if I'm in the beach area, I'm going after stingrays and sharks that will like to have a big piece of meat presented to them like that. This module we're talking all about tackle rigs to now hold your bait. This one is the Carolina rig. It's one of my favorite and most used rigs of all. I use it often to pull grubs like little lures down below the water line.